Welcome back to Ultimate S&S. I hope you see what I'm trying to portray in this video, guys. Uh, this is a habitable world. That means that it has life on it and it can sustain life. When you look around, you may only see woods, trees, but if you look beneath the surface, you're going to see entire ecosystems. You're going to see thriving organisms. And we are a part of that planet. We are part of that design that was put out here by God. You're not going to find 7-Elevens and gas stations and things like that. They don't even need it. We've become so dependent on a system that has convinced us that we need it, that we don't even realize we live on a planet that provides anything that you would need. We've forgotten a lot of traditions, such as tending bees. Now, yes, you can just go out and get some wild honey, if you even know how to do that. Or you can raise your own bees, which is going to actually help propagate any gardens and things like that that you try to do. And they're a joy to sit out and just watch. While these berries are not quite in season yet, we're actually cultivating to increase the size of this vine. That's going to give us more berries. And on top of that, we have a grapevine and we're cultivating it. We're starting to fertilize it. And these plants are wild. Now, you may be thinking, like most people, there's not enough wild plants to keep people alive. Wild plants are plants that are within their survival stages, and you can actually transplant them very easily, begin to cultivate them into your own yard. The fact is, the problem is not that there is not enough food. The problem is there are people that are too lazy to even try to help themselves. We can sit around and complain about what's not in the stores, or we can start trying to provide for ourselves with the stuff that's been given to us. Or you could sit back and starve. And again, here we have more of our wild berries that are growing. And rather than let them stretch across the ground where they're not going to produce much, we've placed this lattice up and just a few poles. And what that's going to do is going to allow the plants to climb up. They're going to get more sun. It's going to keep stuff off the ground. We're going to be able to get more nutrients into the ground and get more berry production going on. And while as we could sit back and say, well, this just isn't enough, we went ahead and we began cultivation, which is going to help add to what we already have. So you can keep coming up with excuses about how there's just not enough money or how there's just not enough time. The fact is, if you do nothing, you will die. So as you can see, we're doing a lot of different things out here. And you may think, well, that's not going to feed enough people. That wouldn't feed your group. Well, understand, guys, every little bit that you can actually cultivate or prep back, that's going to help you in a sustainability situation. You need to understand, you're not going to be eating 3-course meals where you're sitting there and having 3 squares a day and being able to just turn around and eat a Pop-Tart or, you know, some kind of a candy bar or something like that. You can try to prep like that. It doesn't matter. You're eventually going to run out of those preps. And if you do not have sustainability that's adding back to stretch those out or to even bring it to a point where at least you're eating enough to survive, maybe it's between harvest of gardens and things, you need to make sure that you have some sort of a sustainability source. We could sit back and put back all the freeze-dried food you want, but if you don't have something to replace that, understand when it goes bad, it's not going to be 1 or 2 weeks or a couple of days. It's going to be a situation where most of the population will probably die off. They do not know how to survive. They're not learning how to survive. And for those that are watching videos and talking comments that are just sitting back on the couch eating bonbons, that have absolutely no intention of even trying to survive but act like they're an expert, you'll be on your own. So you can either start trying to change your life now. You can either change it while there are foods and products on the shelves to make it a little bit easier, or you can wait till it all goes to crap, guys, and then you can try to change your life at that point. And some of you will make it, most of you won't. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So look around, get some of those tools we've talked about, different types of edible plants. Don't just harvest the plants. cultivate them in your yard, cultivate them in your closets, cultivate them in your free bedrooms, whatever it takes. Just shower if you have to. You can find food, and the more you experiment and the more you practice this stuff, guys, it's going to get a lot easier. If nothing else, I would recommend getting some quail. They do not take much to keep alive. They don't eat a lot, they don't drink a lot, they don't make too big a mess in small numbers, and at least you're going to have something to eat, something that's going to be self-sustaining, providing you with eggs, providing you with meat. For those who say that you couldn't bring yourself to eat one because they're pets, starvation will drive you to do a lot of things. You would either eat your pet or do like some of these people that have gotten lost in the mountains and eat each other. And over here we've got our green beans. They're doing very well. This is where I've kind of stopped with the fertilizing. I need to actually get to the back side of this garden and get it up. And over here we've got a lot of our other plants. I put a turnip here just because I had too many. And then over here we have our squash plants coming down through, zucchini and cucumbers. But I hear too many times about why I can't do that. It's just impossible to do that. Well, can't never could do anything, but you can find a way to make it possible, guys. That means making lifestyle changes. If you're not willing to change for your own life, why would I let you in a prepping community I'm in where I guess you would think everyone needs to change around you just for you? It's time to change your own lives, guys. Take it into your hands. You put your faith in the Lord, and He's going to make sure that you prosper. But you actually have to give it a try. I hope everyone's having a great Easter.